Hi, I'm Rose Reevely, Vedic astrologer, and I'm here today talking about the new moon coming up in the constellation of Virgo. There's so much in these energies that are coming in right now. So it's really exciting to be on the planet right now. The September new moon is taking place in the constellation of Virgo and in a star called Hasta. Hasta represents, or the symbol for Hasta is the hand. New moon times are when the sun and the moon are conjunct, or they're traveling together, kind of like traveling companions. The sun represents the soul, the Atman, the spirit of who you are. And physically, in the chart, the sun represents your heart. And so where the sun is says more about where you will shine. It says in terms of your heart what you love. The moon represents the past, your emotions, your feelings, your intuition. So we could say that the sun kind of represents your outer world, who you look like to the outside world, and the moon is how you experience your inner world, your feelings, your emotions. Again, like I said, this new moon in Virgo, there's so much energy in Virgo. Virgo is the most health conscious sign of the zodiac, and if you notice, probably a lot of the people that you're talking to now, they're talking a lot about health. Everybody wants to get healthier. Everybody is eating cleaner. Everybody is concerned about drinking cleaner water. You know, what can they do daily that will improve the quality of their lives? These are all Virgo themes. Virgo is the most health conscious sign of the zodiac, and they're probably the most work-oriented sign. This is due to their connection with the sixth sign of the natural zodiac is Virgo, and it's about health, it's about service and routine, what we do every day, and what the service or the work that we do is daily, right? So these are all connected. Really, Virgos, if you have Virgo friends, then you know them by the fact that if you go to a really nice restaurant, Virgo will be looking to see what is the freshest salad, right? They're not so concerned with what the specialty is of that restaurant, but they're really concerned with a nice salad. And so Virgo gets often kind of an interesting rap in the zodiac for they really love to eat healthy. So all of this energy in Virgo is really going to give us an upgrade in terms of health. Virgo also, when I say they love to work, this is true because I think as the sixth sign of the natural zodiac, they are very service oriented. You'll find that Virgo, they don't mind rolling their sleeve up. They are probably one of the hardest working of the zodiac, and a lot of times they kind of go unnoticed because they are so proficient at what they do that sometimes it just looks seamless, even though behind the scenes they have been working to make that look seamless. And this is one of I think one of the hidden qualities of Virgo. This is the most discriminating sign of the zodiac. And when I talk about Virgo, I always say they're the QC sign of the zodiac, meaning they are the quality control sign of the zodiac. If you have a business and you need someone, you have a product that you want to be perfect when it rolls off the shelves, and you need somebody in charge to make sure that it passes all the inspections, then you need to hire a Virgo. Nothing will pass through their hands that has not been scrutinized, that has not been looked at thoroughly from every angle imaginable. Virgo has the ability to do this. So nothing passes through their hands that hasn't met these high qualities. And in actuality, this is true about Virgo in themselves. They're very critical of themselves often. Now, Hasta is the star that the moon will be in, the nakshatra or star called Hasta, which symbolizes the hand. And the hand gives us the ability to reach up and grasp and pull into us our desires. And the hand also has enormous creative potential. Again, this is the sign of Virgo, and the sign is focused on health and healing. And remember also the power of the hands to heal. Along with the sun and the moon being conjunct, again, the sun and the moon represent our consciousness, our level of awareness. And so we have a stellium of planets here. We have the planet Mars, which brings action and energy into Virgo. So Virgo loves a list. You know, they love to make lists and have everything in order. But Mars brings in the action piece of it. In other words, we can have all the lists that we want, but unless we put that into action, unless we take that plan and put it into action, then it doesn't do us any good. Mars is going to help us bring the action piece in, right? Whatever we want to change and improve around our health, whether it's eating cleaner, maybe we want to let go of a habit that is no longer useful, or maybe an unhealthy habit. Maybe we want to let go of sugar. Maybe we want to drink more water during the day. Just making small changes that really affect our lives over time in a big way. So Mars is going to help us bring in the action to do this. Whatever it is that we're wanting to change, this is the place and the moment that we can do it with this new moon. Venus, the planet of love and relationships, is also in Virgo. Now Venus gets what's called by astrologers debilitated here. Not my favorite word. Venus, what that means is that the intensification is more. Venus is more intensified in the sign of Virgo. And so it creates challenges around relationships. And we may be more inclined to see the fault of our partner or our mate more than we would see the beauty or the wonder or the magical things about that relationship. We're going to be looking more at what is wrong instead of what is right. Now, since the moon is here, this adds another level of sensitivity, really, because the moon and Venus together, just Venus brings sensitivity, but now the moon is there. And so moon and Venus together really makes something ultra sensitive, okay? So we will need to be sensitive ourselves to our criticisms, or how we might criticize our mates, our husbands, our spouse. We want to be careful of what we say and how we say it. Last, we have Mercury, the planet of communications, and it's at 29 degrees of Virgo. Mercury is exalted in Virgo. This means it's operating at its highest and best. It's efficient. It's right on the money with communication. It's exacting. It's delivering the information in the most precise and informative way that people can understand, right? And so also with Mercury being at 29 degrees, it really means it's kind of on the way out of Virgo. See, 29 degrees, it's just about to go into Libra. Well, Mercury totally changes. Remember, it's mercurial. So it's like a chameleon. It has the ability to go into Libra, where it's a lot more fun-loving and more artsy. And Mercury in Virgo is all about being effective and being precise and delivering the information and intellectual accuracy and all of these things Mercury does as a communicator. But whenever it goes into Libra, it really changes its style. It changes its style of communication. So during this new moon, Saturn, which is the planet of structure, Saturn restricts us. It makes us feel where you have felt restricted or obstacles. If it's at work, if it's at home, that's where Saturn is affecting you in terms of this transit. Now, it can be really broad in terms of that. Saturn presents delays. It delays us from moving ahead. Remember, Mars likes to move ahead really fast. It's not a sideways or looking back kind of planet. Mars has got one thing on its mind, and that's moving ahead. So Saturn is conjunct with K2. Now, Saturn is going to move over K2, and it eventually will start to move away. And K2 is traveling in the opposite direction. So these two come together, Saturn crosses over, okay, and starts to move away. Now that takes some time because Saturn moves very slow, as I said. But let's look at what they represent. They really represent similar things, but there is a difference too. K2 is not a planet. It's called the south node. And so it's really an elliptical point in the sky, but it deals with our past. Okay, so it deals with our karma. And it's also the indicator of enlightenment. It represents, when we say enlightenment, that's freedom or liberation from this planet, from being materially bound, from being bound to the world and the materiality of the world. Where K2 is in your chart is where you feel a sense of loss, or you feel like that you can't get enough, right? You can't receive enough. So K2 is often referred to as the void, because we feel like something is missing. Saturn is called the karmic indicator. Now, I've spoke on Saturn so much, and I've done a lot of videos on Saturn. But Saturn in your chart shows where there are lessons that you have to learn. And here is why it's so important to get an astrology reading. Once you begin to understand on a deep level what your chart is saying and the gifts and the potentiality that you came in with, once you begin to understand that, then you really feel empowered. You feel empowered to live your life. Now, right now, Saturn may be making many people feel disempowered, but there is good news. So let me continue on. Saturn is a karmic indicator in your chart, and Saturn shows where we have lessons to learn, as I said. Essentially, it is the area of life where there is payment. In a sense, it's kind of like a debt, like we have to pay. For instance, if Saturn is in your third house, you may have some karmic debt with your siblings, right? And on it goes. That's just an example. But Saturn is called the taskmaster. And so the word task says there's a job to do, right? There's a job here. And the word mastery indicates that there's some level of proficiency and skill that is required. And it is required with Saturn. There's not a 20 or 30 or 40%. Saturn is saying you will master this area of your life. And the beauty of that is, mastery of that, it means for you less suffering. You know, we get it, right? We get it on an internal level. Saturn really is concerned with just one thing, just that one thing. And that one thing is developing your consciousness. That's what Saturn is doing with all of the lessons and all of the suffering. That is Saturn's ultimate message for all of us. So these two energies of Saturn and Ketu are bringing kind of this heightened awareness. Now, this heightened awareness is broad. It's really broad, I think. First of all, Saturn and Ketu both are in a star nakshatra called Purva Ashada, which is ruled by Venus. So you're going to hear and see that there's a lot going on in terms of relationships. And this is everywhere, with everyone, right? There are many changes, many kind of disruptions. But this has been slow and over time. Saturn is the planet of time. Saturn and Ketu can help us focus really intensely for a very short period of time. And so the two together bring this intensity to the new moon, right? To this awareness, this consciousness. It's all about bringing a higher consciousness in for everyone. And it's going to do it in different ways. Relationships, beliefs around relationships. It's just very broad for everyone. This is why knowing your chart it really helps to understand what you're going through, what you're experiencing. All of these planets in Virgo are squaring off with Saturn, Ketu, and even Pluto is there at a higher degree. But Saturn and Ketu are right together, okay? So you may feel flooded because there's so much here. You may feel flooded with memories from the past. Saturn and Ketu, again, representative of the past. The moon, representative of the past. We're bringing in all of those other energies. Your ability to discern will be accurate during this time. Your ability to discern the truth. You may even have a memory of a long time ago, and now it's clear to you what the truth was of that time, even though it could be from childhood. This could be from childhood. Remember, Ketu is past lives. And Saturn also, the moon is past lives, intuition, memories from the past. Because of the clarity that you're able to have, you may gain wisdom from this memory. Now, some of these memories are not going to be maybe particularly happy memories, right? But it's nonetheless bringing us information, in a sense. Remember, this moon is about healing. And healing is the ultimate experience that we can gain. And the constellation of Virgo is where the new moon is bringing light. It's bringing its light into these areas of our lives that need healing. Whatever comes up is what needs healing. If it's a relationship, if it's letting go of a relationship, if it's letting go of even that relationship might have happened a long time ago, and there's still some residue or something hurtful for you about that. This is the time to heal it. New moons are really the best time to connect with our ancestors. And remember this, our ancestors, all of our gifts and our talents and our potential for now are given to us through them. Our DNA is from them. And so if they're no longer on the physical plane, they're no longer on this earth, and you feel there's something that's holding you back, that was in that relationship, this is a time you can heal that. Just because they are not in their physical body does not mean healing cannot occur. It can. And when it does, that empowers you, that frees you, okay? And it allows them to move on into the light. That is a beautiful thing, is to know that this is the time of healing. We can still heal those relationships, even though we might not be in that relationship. You don't have to be in it to heal it. Anytime you heal a relationship, you heal yourself. You are healing yourself. And that means that you are liberating yourself, that you are freeing yourself from what? From suffering. You're freeing yourself from suffering. You are the one that's suffering by holding on to that whatever the it was. By holding on to it, it's causing your suffering. So this is the opportunity with this new moon, bringing in the light, bringing the light in. And remember this too, when you eat cleaner food, you are affecting your whole body. You are changing your vibration. You are taking up your awareness, your consciousness. That is a beautiful upgrade. So just know that this new moon is all about your healing. So happy health and healing to you. And please subscribe to my YouTube channel. And let's see, you can connect with me at rosereeveleyastrology.com, and you can email me at rreevely10@gmail.com, and that's in the description below. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.